Hello, everybody. Ella J here for a wrestling gal, and today I am joined by the Neon Dream, Riley Matthews. How are you today?
I am fantastic. I am so excited to be back. I know this was one of my favorite podcasts I've done. So you reached out and I was like, yes, I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's been almost 2 years since the last time we talked. You're going
Mhm.
to be coming up on your 4 year anniversary of your debut in July, I believe. So it's a
Yeah.
good time to catch up. Also, at the time of recording this, it is Cinco de Mayo. I know you said tacos are your love
Yes.
language.
Mhm.
So I have to ask, what goes into a Riley Matthews taco?
Oh my gosh. I'm going to get made fun of so much, but I am such a plain Jane when it comes to
So am
tacos.
I.
I am meat, cheese, lettuce. Although I don't know if this is more of it might just be a local restaurant, but there's a place here called Condado Tacos. And they came out with a chicken bacon ranch taco, and let me tell you, best thing I've ever had. It is so freaking good. So if there's a Condado anywhere for anybody, please try it.
I am also one who is very plain. Just give
Mm-hmm.
me a shell. I mean, I prefer like a soft shell. A hard shell is
Yeah.
fine, but chicken, cheese, and lettuce, like I'm
Mm-hmm.
good. I'm not really like a sauce person or like,
Mm-mm.
like I
Yeah.
can like tolerate that, but like I am also very plain, so I
Yeah.
identify with you. So
Yeah.
I will at least not make fun of you. Um, since we're on the topic of food though, because I am also like a picky eater, what would you say is your most controversial food take?
Oh gosh. I this is it might not be controversial,
Okay.
but mayonnaise has got to be the most disgusting thing ever invented by humans. It is absolutely disgusting. If there's anything mentioned with mayonnaise, I don't want it. Keep it away from me. Keep it out of my sight, please.
That's funny. So I mayonnaise is one of the few condiments that I actually like kind of like. Like I hate
Mm-mm.
like mustard, like I'm not really like a relish girly. Like ketchup I can like tolerate, but it's not like I'm gonna like reach for it.
Yeah, right.
Man, I get it though. It's not everybody's cup. I used to like not like it. Then I've come around to it and it goes on a lot of my sandwiches. Would I eat it on its own? Probably not.
No.
Um that's fair.
I gotta say though, I am also a big texture person, and the one thing
Okay.
that I don't think I will ever touch is cottage cheese. Like it is
Ooh. Yeah.
disgusting. And
Yeah.
people say, like, when I ask people about like meal prep, a lot of people mention cottage cheese, and I'm like, no, you lost me there. Like, get on with it. Like, no, no cottage cheese up in the Riley Matthews household. No, thank you.
Well, let me ask you this then. Is there any weird food combinations that you do enjoy?
Okay. So I guess this isn't really weird, but sometimes my favorite thing post wrestling is going to Wendy's and getting a chocolate frosty and fries and dipping it together. That is like
So good.
an
Yeah.
ultimate combination. But for whatever reason, I haven't tried this yet, but my brain is telling me to try pickles with peanut butter. I don't know why, but like, so if I try it, I will let the timeline know what I think about it.
So it seems like it might be similar to celery and peanut butter, just like
Exactly.
more pickly. That doesn't
Yeah.
sound too
Yeah.
crazy, honestly. Like I like celery and peanut butter. Pickle might not be too bad, honestly. It
I
might
know.
just
Saying like my brain is telling me that it would be so good together.
Yeah. And now I want a frosty and fries though. Like I love the
Yeah.
sweet and salty. That's
Exactly.
that's a great combination.
Exactly.
So that's
There's
top
literally
tier.
a Wendy's like right across the street from my apartment, like so I can literally just walk there, which is really bad because I'm trying to
Hmm.
get, in shape. We need the abs, but I can't when there's Wendy's staring at me.
Yeah.
Like that's my biggest weakness.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not that it's really a Cinco de Mayo thing, but treat yourself. It's Cinco de Mayo day, girl. If you
Exactly.
can't if you can't get your taco, at least get your Wendy's shake and fries. That's
Oh,
all I'm saying.
I've had tacos today. I've had chips and queso. I've had Mexican rice, and that was only for lunch. Like dinner, probably gonna go to
Yeah.
Mexican. Who knows?
I love rice too. Oh, it's so
Mm-hmm.
good. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
think there's any rice I don't like. Like brown
exactly.
rice is really good. Yellow, like the regular, like buttery white
Mm-hmm.
ones are good too.
Yeah, that's my favorite part of the meal prep is the rice. Like
Hmm. I
100%.
agree. I agree. Treat yourself, Riley.
Exactly. Exactly.
Maybe today isn't the day for Wendy's, but
Today.
like tomorrow or sometime later this week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, I do want to shift gears a little bit. Maybe you discovered some new food combinations during this. I don't know. But obviously, you recently took a break from action and now you're back.
Right?
But during that time, I think it was around maybe 5, 6 months, something like that.
Mhm.
Did you discover any new passions or hobbies while you were away from the ring, or how did you allocate your time?
So I spent a lot of it just kind of discovering who I am outside of wrestling,
Yeah.
because obviously it's not going to be here forever. I mean, it will, but me wrestling's not going to be here forever. And I kind of just want to learn who I am outside of wrestling because I started training as soon as I became 18 and I never really
Yeah.
had time to be an adult. And now I'm in my early 20s, and that's kind of when everything takes a big shift. So I kind of am learning who I am, still am. But outside of that, I learned that I have a big obsession with designing gear. So I actually spent a lot of time designing my own gear and kind of figuring out like what I want to do. I worked with another girl who wrestles with me, and she makes gear. So we kind of worked together and we put together a really pretty set, probably the best set I've ever done. I haven't debuted it yet, but so she made that for me. And my other thing I love doing is rhinestoning. Like I rhinestone my own gear. Like I have like people make it and they're like, do you want rhinestones? I'm like, nope, don't worry, girl, I got it. So I rhinestone the gear and it looks so good, and I cannot wait to show people. um but other than that, yeah, I'm still just kind of slowly learning who I am as a person. Obviously it takes time.
Yeah.
But I really want to get into crocheting. I know I sound like an old lady. um but a lot of people that I know crochet and they're like, oh, I actually really like it. Like it's really difficult starting out, but once they get it, like one of my friends, she started and now she does these vendors where she sells all of her like little work she's done, and she makes pretty good money off of that. So I'm like, okay. And then I've also gotten into like being a plant mom. So there's actually a plant behind me. Hold on, I will show
It's
everybody.
spring, so
This is
absolutely.
Alice. She started out as a little seedling and now she's thriving. So that's Alice. So I can't wait to see how big she gets. But I
Yeah.
do want to get more plants because I'm in my plant mom era. So
Hmm.
yeah,
She is growing just like you.
yeah, exactly, exactly. We're doing this together. We're all on this together.
I feel like it's good, especially because I don't want to say you were like robbed like of your childhood, but like it's a big transition to go from childhood, basically going like right into work, work, work,
Yep.
wrestling all the time. Plus, I'm guessing a shoot job at some point because a
Yep.
lot of indie wrestlers do. So
Mm-hmm.
like you didn't really have that time to maybe enjoy your like young
No.
adulthood, like just like chilling out or enjoying
Mhm.
life. You kind of just went right into it, I
Yeah.
have to imagine. So it's good to take those breaks, not only for that, but also like your mental health and discovering yourself outside of wrestling. Because, like you said, I mean, things happen, knock on wood, it is an inherently risky sport and it's not going to be forever. So I love that too. Have you like always had a creative mind, would you say?
Oh yeah, even from like a little girl, like my mom was always super creative, so I just kind of picked up on that. And then like in school, one of my favorite subjects was art because I
Yeah.
love it so much. And then I almost want to start learning how to make gear, which if I ever learn how to make gear, I will have a new set every single week, like not even kidding.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I love just the whole aspect of like designing gear and stuff. So I think if I ever do have to stop wrestling, that's probably what I'm going to do because I love it so
Mhm.
much.
Now, obviously, you have yet to debut this new gear you've been working on. Can you give us a little teaser on maybe the color scheme at
Ooh,
all?
yeah,
Obviously, maybe
yeah,
it's something bright like Neon
it
Dream, or
is.
maybe it's something new. Okay.
It is very bright. I was like, holy crap. I got sent a picture of it and I was like, oh, that's kind of dull a little bit.
Hmm.
And then I got it in person and I opened the box and I was like, oh my gosh, like it is very vibrant. It complements my silver boots very well, which I know that's not neon, but silver together with neon colors, I think
Yeah.
just so good. And it's pink and orange, and yeah, it's gonna look so good, and I'm so excited.
Oh,
It's probably one of my best years I've ever done.
I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I feel like, I mean, I don't know the plans, but I feel like anything you do will work well with your bright colored fur coat 'cause it
Oh
kind
yeah.
of it's
Oh,
rainbow, it has all the colors.
mm-hmm.
Tell us about this colorful bright fur coat of yours. It's now kind of a staple of your look, I would say.
It is. So I don't I think I was doom scrolling if I'm being honest. I couldn't sleep when I was on Instagram.
Valid.
Actually, I think Aria Perkins had sent me this
Hmm.
website that had a bunch of neon colored fur coats, and I was like, "Oh my god, you just got me in a lot of trouble." So I doom scrolled, and
Purchase, add to cart.
yep. So I saw it, and I was like, "I have to have that." And surprisingly, it went really well with this teal gear that I had, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's like literally perfect." But it also has like all my colors on it, so I was like, "Okay." I like to find jackets that I can wear with multiple sets of gear because on the indies you're not rich, you don't get paid millions and can have a jacket every week. Um, so it's like, okay, this is perfect. It's like all my colors that I go with so many sets of gear, but it's very hot. So I can't put it on until literally like right before I'm about to go through the curtain
I believe
because
that.
literally, yeah, it's crazy. But I just did a photo shoot with it and it looks phenomenal. So yeah, the fur coats, keep them coming. But I'm also like, I kind of want like a blingy rhinestone coat too. So like, I'm like stuck in the middle right now because I love fur and I love rhinestones. I just can't find my happy medium. But we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Well, you said you have been bedazzling, so it might
Yeah,
be something to kind of the beauty about it is you have the creative freedom to kind of do whatever you want with your
exactly.
look. Now since you kind of transitioned to more the fur coats, have you retired the fringe? I loved the fringe coats. Is
Oh
that something you
no.
might bring back?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
She's still there. Actually, I do have a booking coming up on the 10th. It is an all women show,
Yeah,
which
we'll talk
a
about
lot
it.
of I get to meet a lot of my friends that I haven't met yet, so
Hmm.
I'm super excited. But I could very well bust out the French coat, which I call that my Macho Man jacket because that's literally
Yeah.
what it looks like. So
Well, I'm excited too. I love the teal gear too is like it's not as bright. It's a little bit different for
yeah.
you, but like it's that's also kind of become like your staple gear
Hmm.
in obviously since you've come back and before that.
Yeah.
Is there a certain inspo or story behind your teal gear?
So when I had my last match before I went on break, which I just love the color teal in general, I feel like you don't really see it a lot, especially like in my home promotion. There's not a lot of people that wear
Yeah.
teal, and I just think it's a very flattering color in general. Um, but my last match before I went on break, I had almost that exact same gear except it had the checker print on it. And while I was on my break, I was like, you know what? I kind of want to come back a little bit different. Like, I don't know if I want to do the checker print anymore because, like, at first I did the checker print in the neon because you didn't see it very often. And now that it's 4 years later, I'm seeing it a lot more often. So it's like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Which I mean, you already see a lot of neon colors anyways, but I'm like, I can't ditch the neon colors. It's literally
Yeah.
in my name. Um, so my recent match back, I was like, okay, I feel like it would be cool to do almost the exact same gear, just no checker print. So that's what I did. But overall, I just think the teal is so pretty. It's definitely like one of my favorites. So yeah, and I'm tempted to get almost the exact same set, but like this neon purple. I've been looking at it, but I'm like, I don't know.
Like a lavender like a pastelly purple or like a bright like oh
It's
God.
like it's
What's
like
the
a
word for it?
it's like a great, well, they call it like gray holographic, like that's the name of the
Oh,
fabric.
oh,
So I'm like,
okay.
okay, like so, but I've had this color before, it just has checker print on it. But now that I'm not doing that, I'm like, okay, so if I want to wear this purple, I have to get a whole new set. It's a whole thing that I'm arguing with in my mind. But I'm like, I also looked really good in that purple. So I'm
Hmm.
like, well, and purple's on my jacket. So that's why I'm like, okay, I'm probably gonna lose this battle and buy the purple gear, but we'll see.
Well, like you said, once you get the kind of gear making skills down, then it's not really, you can basically do whatever you want. Just
Exactly.
don't go too crazy though, because
Right.
it adds up fast.
It
But like you said, the beauty of that would be then you can just make it whenever you want, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Just
Exactly.
use it as a motivator to get your designing skills and like craftsmanship like
Exactly.
down. There you go.
Exactly.
But you mentioned obviously your return took place last month at Revolution Rising, where you defended your PGWA Women's Championship, which I believe you've held for over a year now, I
Yes, I
believe.
just
So,
did it 1 year like a week ago or something
yeah,
like
so
that. Thank
congratulations
you.
on that. You obviously defended it against some familiar names, and Ari Alexander and Kylie Page. How did it feel to be back in the ring with two other rising stars?
It was absolutely incredible. I didn't really feel the emotions up until I think I got in the ring.
Mhm.
And like as soon as the bell rang, I like instant tears. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is just crazy. And then like my family was there, so like it just made it even more surreal. I was like, wow, this is crazy. And I was like, I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna be that person, but I did. So it was so fun. The match was incredible. So it ended up just being me and Ari because Kylie had car issues on the way down,
Got
so
it.
I didn't make it, but I'm still open to wrestling her because I feel like that would be another banger. But yeah, it was just me and Ari. Match was incredible. She tried to cheat, but Jillian Hall said, "No, girl, not happening." She got my back, of course. But yeah, so I think Ari, she's definitely someone I want to work with again and again and again and again. But yeah, overall coming back, I was like, wow, I literally missed this so much, and like I don't think I'd ever take not being able to wrestle for granted again. Just because like that moment as a whole, like I looked at my dad and I looked at my grandma and was like, oh my gosh, this is just crazy. Like, yeah, it's a feeling you can't even explain until you've like been in the moment and you're like, wow, this is crazy. That was like my WrestleMania moment right there. I was like, wow, just
I
crazy.
believe it.
All those
I feel
people,
like
yeah.
yeah, it all came to a head. I feel like we
Mm-hmm.
need that time. Not only did it give you like some clarity and a break to find yourself, but also like I guess you take maybe we take things for granted sometimes and you miss it and it just reinforced your love for it even more, it
Yes.
sounds like. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I told one of our agents is Wildcat Chris Harris. And I literally looked at him and I was like, wow, I think like I literally missed this so much. And he's like, oh, you mean that? And I was like, yeah, like this is just crazy. Like I'm so happy to be here right now. You have no idea. Like although I kind of a little bit got hurt, I was like, you know what? I don't even care. Like I'm here. I just had my match. I'm great.
How was your back, by the way? Because I know that was giving you some issues last year.
Yeah, so the main thing is I'm 22, but I feel like I'm 50 because I have really bad sciatica. So I did my first match with Ari. I was like, okay, took a couple bumps. I felt it flare up a little bit. I was like, great, this is gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Um, and then by the time we got to the main event that I was in, I was, in there taking heat, and I was like, wow, I can't stand up right now. So this is just fantastic. And I was like, well, we still have, a little bit more heat to go, so I still have to, tough it out. And I tagged out and I tagged Big Mama in and I literally sat on the apron and cried. I've never cried out of pain in a match before, but I literally cried. I was like, wow, like what is happening? So I went to a chiropractor and it's okay. Um, so let's hope it doesn't happen again. But luckily I'm in an 8 woman, so if anything happens, I'll be all right. But I
Yeah.
was like, wow. And even my chiropractor was like, yeah, you're too young for this. And I was like, yeah. And then there's people telling me like the only way to fix sciatica is surgery. And I'm like, not happening. Like, no, I'm okay. But
Man,
other than
I
that, it's fine.
I'm 28 and I feel like I have the back of like a
Yeah.
70-year-old. I guess I
Yeah.
can't complain too much though in comparison to you, because my God.
Yeah. It's awful.
Well, I guess beauty is pain, wrestling,
It is.
it is what it is, it's what you signed up for, but you do love it.
I
And
do.
but also, also at the same time, you taking care of yourself mentally, physically too as well, never forget that.
Exactly.
Um, but as you mentioned, you recently surpassed 1 year into your championship reign. So looking back on this last year, what would you say has been your most proud title defense?
I would say my most recent one. I haven't had very many just because they don't do defenses very often. It's
Yeah,
kind of just this all women show and then a couple here and there. But I would say
got it.
definitely the most recent one because I think that's the most passion I've ever had since I've been champion. Because when I won it, it was kind of I was going through that burnout phase that people get. Like I was still very excited to be champion. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but I felt that burnout phase coming. And then it's like once I took that time off, I was like, no, like I'm ready to get back. I'm ready to defend this title wherever I can. So yeah, I would say definitely this most recent match. I think I had a lot of people tell me that was like the best match of the night. So I was like, okay, I'll take it. Like, yeah. So yeah, definitely this most recent one, and I hope to have a lot more incredible defenses.
Yeah, and you mentioned all women shows. You alluded to it earlier this weekend. You will be competing in Indiana's biggest all women's pro wrestling event in history at Hooligan Championship Wrestling, run by two of my friends. It is also your debut at the promotion, from what I understand. So,
Mhm.
how excited are you to make history?
Oh, I am so excited and like just doing it on an all women's show. I feel like makes it so much more important. Because like I know you're seeing women's shows, all women's shows more often.
Yeah.
but to do it with a lot of my friends who I almost started with in a way and that are around my age that could potentially take over the wrestling world in the next like 5 years is
Yeah.
so exciting. And I can't wait to see what all of us do. But I'm so excited to meet some of my friends that I've never met before, but I've literally watched from the beginning of their journey and they kind of are on the same thing with me. So I feel like that'd be a nice full circle moment. And I'm definitely going to take all the pictures that I can because I know I'm really bad at taking pictures with my people. And I'm like, man, like I wish I could have like
Yeah.
documented that. So yeah, I definitely take all the pictures. So you'll be seeing all the pictures that I get. But yeah, I'm super excited. I think they're streaming it on the IWTV, I want to say. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, you can watch it on there. I'm so stoked. You have no idea.
And as you mentioned, you will be an 8-woman action. You mentioned Big Mama. You're very familiar with her.
Mm-hmm.
We also have Carter Kaufman and Stella Boohoo. You will be taking on Alice Crowley, Dixie Douglas, Heather Blue, and Noelle Summit. Like we said, I know you have history with Big Mama, but what are your thoughts heading into this stacked tag match?
I would say I'm very excited. I know me and Heather have mentioned wanting to share the ring with each other at some point, so we finally got to do that. I can't promise I'll be nice to her because she's not on my team. So, but Alice Crowley, I think I've worked. I don't remember if we've had a one-on-one, which is very bad. I should remember my matches, but I've had so many that I don't. But I have been in the ring with her before at OVW in the past, and
Yeah.
she's definitely she's it. Like she's that girl. So I'm very excited to work with her. I don't think I've worked with anybody else. I've heard of Carter through OVW, but I have not worked with the other women, so I'm very excited. I always love working with new people. Um, and I'm kind of excited to see what they can showcase and potentially maybe get one-on-one matches out of these people in the future. I feel like that'd be really exciting, especially Heather. She's
Yeah.
someone that I want to throw it down with. So,
What I love about this too is you have literally women coming from all over. Like you have East Coast, West Coast. We got some
mm-hmm.
Texas girlies, obviously Midwest girlies like yourself. All in one place. I think it's 33 wrestlers through
Yeah.
12 matches, literally the biggest in Indiana history.
Mm-hmm.
It is ascending the queendom too, and obviously besides your, we also have some TNA representatives, Zaya Brookside versus Brittany Jade. OVW, you mentioned J Rod and Ashlyn Alexander, Erica Demia, Maggie Lee, another TNA signee, and Angel Metro, Brittany Brooks, and Ella Envy, Maya World, Gabby Forza. The list goes on and on. Besides yours, what would you say the match you're most looking forward to?
Definitely Brittany's because that's my girl,
Yeah.
100%. Love her. I get to meet her for the first time. She's definitely someone that I want to work with too because I feel like it would just be so fun. Like we literally have been on this journey together. Like I knew her before she even started. She knew me before I started. So definitely want to work with her. And Maya's match too. I think Maya World, she's also that girl. Like she is the it girl for a reason. So I'm very excited to see what she does. But yeah, I think all of us are going to tear the house down because we know that like the pressure is on, and I think a lot of us do very well under pressure. So yeah, I'm so stoked for everybody, honestly.
It's not that far of a drive for you, I don't think.
No, it's
Is it?
about 3.5 hours, so
Not bad.
pretty standard.
You have been to Indiana before for
Yeah.
another big event, Royal Rumble weekend in
Mm-hmm.
Indianapolis. I'm so jealous about that.
I was amazing.
Um, but yeah, tell us about your Royal Rumble experience being there in person.
Okay, so the biggest thing I want to say is overstimulating AF.
I
Um,
understand that.
so many people. I was like, oh my gosh, like I didn't even. It was
Wasn't it like
crazy.
70,000 or something like that? I don't even
Yeah,
remember.
about as I think it was like 66 roughly, but that's
Yeah.
about how much they have at one night of WrestleMania too.
Hmm.
So I was like, oh my gosh, like so many people, not to mention it was cold as heck. Um, and I was going to go to the superstore, and then I walked in and I kept walking, and I kept walking, and I kept walking, and I kept walking. Yeah, about 10 miles, and the line was still going. I was like, yeah, I'm not going in there. I'm good. I was going to do it just to do it for the experience. And I was like, yeah, no way. So we kind of just hung around the convention center a little bit, met up with some friends. And then we went to go in the venue. We stood outside for maybe 30 to 35 minutes. It was freezing cold, so bad. And then we got in the arena, and I was like, wow, a lot of people. yeah, I don't do big crowds, so you can only imagine how that went.
Mhm.
I was like, get me a drink now.
Valid.
Um, but I didn't because drinks there were also gonna break the bank. So I was like, you know what? Mm-mm. And then we sat in our seats, and our seats were incredible. We were section 420, nice. But yeah, overall the experience was amazing. I lost my mind seeing John Cena, lost my mind for Alexa Bliss and Nikki. Like those were all my people when I was, little and
Mhm.
watching it. But yeah, I was like, wow. And like going to stuff like that really motivates me. Like, wow, I really want to be here one day.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, definitely do not regret. Absolutely loved it. So I think my next big one I want to go to is Mania, which I'm pretty sure there'll be an indie here before soon.
Mm.
So yeah, overall great experience.
They are scheduled to be in Indianapolis sometime in the next couple of years. It's
Yeah,
part of their deal. Obviously, next year they're in New Orleans. I want to go on Bourbon Street just for the
I know,
experience.
I know.
Oh, but I also get it. I was at WrestleMania in Dallas in 2022. I don't remember how big it was, but I was like, damn, this is a lot of people. It was
Yeah, lots.
basically that, but at the Royal Rumble, so I can
Mm-hmm.
imagine.
Oh yeah, we walked up and like the streets are literally filled from the building to
Hmm.
like 2 or 3 blocks down the road, just people. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, Malanta. It was crazy.
Well, like you said, you got to see some of your childhood heroes. I was at Chamber, so I got to see John Cena and then his heel
Yeah.
turn, and I got to see Alexa. That was fun
Mm-hmm.
too. What was your favorite moment of the night, would you say?
Honestly, I think as much as I was disappointed at John losing the Rumble, I think Jay winning it was
Yeah.
amazing because he deserves it. I kind of sat there for a second, like kind of processing, like, did that really just happen? Because
Yeah,
I
same.
felt John Cena's 100% winning his last Royal Rumble, and then he just got pushed off. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But I loved the women's Rumble too, which there was a guy sitting behind me, and of course, he was like, "Who's this?" to like every girl that came
Yeah.
out. All right, dude, that's enough.
Do you
So
watch the product?
I know I was like, "Why are you here?" First
Yeah,
of all,
yeah.
so every time a woman came out, I made sure to be over exaggerating, like yeah, because I was like, "Nah, screw
More
this guy."
power to you. Yeah.
But he knew every guy that came out. I was like, "All right, we're gonna be that way, cool." But I would say I really enjoyed the I think it was the tag match between Motor City Machine Guns and
Oh my God, yeah.
I was it DIY?
DIY.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. That I feel like that match was really underappreciated, but I loved the ladder match between Kevin and Cody. The finish was
Same.
crazy. The finish was crazy. I was
I
like,
know.
enough to take that bump that Kevin just took. Like what? Um. So yeah, but like overall, I would say the women's rumble was my favorite moment of the night for sure.
I remember John, like the ending sequence with John and Jay on the apron, and then he hit him, and then John's holding on to the rope, and
Yeah,
he's
and he was
like
like,
looking like he's about to fall off. I
mm-hmm.
was like, oh my God, John, hold on.
I
And
was
then
on the
yeah, like once it got down to like the final six, I was like, oh, John Cena's got this in the bag.
exactly.
But then also in the back of my mind, I'm like, Jay Uso is still here, which like, I like Jay Uso. He just wasn't like on like the rest I expected. Like Logan Paul was in there. I think AJ Styles was in there. Uh Punk, Roman, and Seth all went out like back to back to back. Like I expected them to be there. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
Uso's
Yeah.
still here. He's Michael Brie. Like, oh, this is cool for him. John's still and then, it was a good surprise though,
It was. It was.
Um and then we got to see obviously John win Chamber. I was there to see that, and then his heel turn, which has been debatable since then, but a great moment
Right.
at the time.
Exactly.
Um, Rumble is so much fun. I'm so glad you got to experience it.
Me too.
Despite maybe feeling like, oh my God, there's a lot of people.
Yeah, but it's like once I was in my seat and I was kind of, focused
Mhm.
on what was happening, I was like, whatever.
Yeah,
Then when we left, whole different story.
yeah. I do want to talk about some other legends of the squared circle, which you've had the opportunity to meet two of my favorite people. One of them being Lisa Marie Varon, aka Victoria, the sweetest woman to like
Oh
ever
yeah.
live.
Oh yeah.
Tell us about your experience meeting her last year.
Oh, she was so nice. We were at this I guess it's a convention, but not technically. It was just a show. And they have a bunch of like the legends there before the show that you can meet. and Wildcat Harris. I was with him. We sat our stuff up next to each other. He was like, "I'm gonna take you over," and you're because I'm pretty sure he's friends with Lisa, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. So he was like, "I'm gonna take you over, and you're gonna meet her." I was like, "Okay." I was very nervous because I was like, "She's just gonna think I'm just some mark or some kid." And
She's the
I'm like, "Yeah, like
sweetest.
great to meet you, cool." And we walked over there. No, she was like, "Oh my gosh, like it's so good to meet you." And I was like, "Yeah." And then like we hugged and we got our picture. And she was like, "Yeah, like go kill it tonight. Like you got this." Like she was very supportive, almost like she like knew me, like we were friends. And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
So definitely one of the sweetest people I've ever met. If you ever have a chance, please do it. Like she's the best.
I absolutely agree with you. Another person that you got to meet, one of her good friends, one of my favorite of all time, Mickie James. You mentioned OVW. She's
Yeah.
obviously been working with OVW behind the scenes for a while. You were doing a lot of stuff with
Mm-hmm.
OVW late 2023, early 2024.
Yeah.
Um, Tell us about your encounter with Mickie, and I'm curious, did you have a chance to kind of pick her brain? That's kind of what she's there for. Did you have a
Mm-hmm.
chance to pick her brain at all?
Not really. She was kind of
Okay,
busy, so I was like, okay, I'm
fair.
not that person that like bugs her and says, "Hey, like, what do you think?" But I did get my picture with her, and I was very surprised because like I'm a tiny person, but then I saw her and was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm like
She's like
towering over."
5'4", yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like, oh my gosh, like she's just so tiny, but she's so nice and she's so welcoming, and she almost feels like that mother figure that you need.
Yeah.
Because she was just so supportive, and I know she was working with the women's division for a little bit, and she at some point was like, "Yeah, let's talk character work," which we never ended up getting around to. Which I was like, "Okay, it's fine. She's a busy woman." Um, but yeah, overall, so nice, so lovely to just talk to and just like kind of hear her stories. And like, she had her little boy with her sometimes, and like, she was just the best mommy to him. But yeah, overall, very sweet human. And I hope we get to do work together at some point in the future. Just because she, yeah, like you said, she's one of the greats. So I would literally love to learn from her at some point. So,
Well, hopefully she gets back there. We get you back at OVW too
mm-hmm.
as well. It's another budding women's division. You mentioned
Oh yeah.
character. You were obviously the neon dream, and you've inspired a lot of people, especially the little girls. You know, we were talking about that
Mm-hmm.
last time. But who are some of your neon lights or people that inspire you in today's landscape?
So I think my biggest one is my dad, because he's such a hard worker, and he's just so supportive, and I love it. Like he's the main reason that I do this. He's definitely like someone that I look up to, always have, because he just puts family first, always does what he has to, and like my stepmom too, she's incredible. Absolutely would do anything for her. But when it comes to wrestling, my recent one has been Liv Morgan, just because the way she has developed herself
Yeah.
is incredible. Like seeing where she was in NXT to where she is now is just so amazing to watch. Even Roxanne, I'm like, she's younger than me, but look at her. Like, come on, she just naturally has it. So she's someone that I love to watch, and I'm like, you know what? If she can do it, I can do it. Like, we got this. And I really, obviously, Alexa's still my girl. I love watching Mercedes Monet, just because the stuff she's doing. I'm like, yeah, like I want to wrestle like that. Like she's got everything. And then I think Charlotte Flair is a big one too, because even outside of wrestling, she's just a genuine human. She uplifts women a lot. So she's definitely someone that I look up to too. So hopefully I can wrestle them someday. Hopefully.
Well, I do have to say there's definitely a real possibility on at least one of them. And I was going to bring this up, that being Mercedes Moné, because obviously
Yeah.
she's been doing a lot of work outside of WWE.
Mm-hmm.
She was dabbling back into the indies a little bit. We saw her at House of Glory against Indy Hartwell. She's done a lot in the last 2 years alone, like
Yeah.
multiple titles, four title belts right now, three championships to her own name. What are your thoughts on her run, AEW, New Japan, Indies, as well?
I think it's awesome. She literally looks like she's thriving so much, like she's doing what she loves. And I'm pretty sure Japan was always kind of what she wanted to do
Yeah.
at the end of the day. And I think that's where she's doing the best work she's ever done. Like the gears are slaying, the hair is slaying, like everything. I love it. And I want to be about that action. So Mercedes, let's go. We're all like, where
Hmm.
I am.
Yeah. She was at Rev Pro too as
Mhm.
well, undisputed British women's champion. I don't know the answer to this. Have you been outside of the US wrestling at all yet?
I have. I've actually been to Canada a couple
Okay.
times. Very fun. Very pretty.
Oh, I believe that,
Stopped
yeah.
at yeah, I stopped at Niagara Falls on the way back before we came back through the border. It was gorgeous. It
I
was
live right near Niagara Falls, so yeah.
yes, gorgeous. My favorite. So definitely want to go back to Canada at some point.
Yeah, hopefully we get you international Neon Dream as well, even
Hmm.
more international.
Yeah.
Um, Maybe that's something that to kind of wrap things up, maybe that's something you're thinking about for the future. Like we said, you're going to be coming up on 4 years since your debut. What are some of your personal and professional goals then for year five coming up?
So I would say definitely go to new places that I haven't gone before because I kind of stay in like Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, like tri-state.
Yeah.
But I want to travel more, for sure. And obviously, it's very scary doing that alone just because I never have. But like I see all my friends doing it, so I'm like, yeah, like I'll be fine. I have anxiety, but I'll be fine. So I think it's definitely working for new promotions that I haven't worked for. I know there's a couple that have reached out that I've never worked for that I'm like, yeah, I want to work there. Um, so hopefully I can do some of that. Maybe go out of the country. That's a big maybe. Kind of just depends. Financially, it
Yeah.
could be a lot. But I have my passport. But I know they want these like real IDs now.
Yeah.
Uh, so have to figure that out too. But yeah, maybe going out of the country. But like I really want to wrestle in California, Florida, like the warm states, stuff like that. I've been to Delaware. It was okay. But it was fine. Just kind of in the middle of nowhere, but I'm like, it also looks like Ohio, so I can't really say much. But yeah, I would say definitely just getting out there more and going to new places.
Hmm. Now I have to ask because as a fellow fur mom myself, tell us about your fur baby Loki.
Oh, he's the best. We're gonna pull up a picture of my fur baby.
Perfect.
So he's a black cat. He actually turns a year old next month, and
My
I'm very,
God.
very upset about it. Because he's supposed to be my tiny little baby. I'm actually gonna show you a funny one because he wanted my
Okay.
pizza, but there was garlic on it, and they can't have garlic.
Yeah, yeah.
So he was not a happy
He's like,
camper.
why
He
no
was like,
garlic, mom?
yeah, he was like, excuse me. But he's so goofy. He's got the goofiest personality, but he's also so loving too.
Hmm.
So like I have this window hammock for him that he loves to go up in. Sometimes he misses the hammock and he'll be hanging on the rim, and it's like he's like shooting basketball, and he kind of looks at you like you didn't see that, like no.
Yeah.
But I caught him just kind of sitting there, and he likes to like sit with his leg up, and I'm like, why are you like this? Um, yeah, overall, he's the best cat ever. He's a very snuggly boy. When I first got him, he was just that way. Like he had to be laying in my lap
Yeah.
or like up here, but now he's a little too big for that. He's getting kind of chunky. It's okay. But I love him. Like honestly, a lot of the people that meet him are like, yeah, this is like genuinely the best cat I've ever met. So I
Hmm.
think we definitely picked a good one for sure.
I got to attest, even if they're growing up, they're still babies at heart. I have a
Mm-hmm.
14-year-old and an 11-year-old cat. Those
Oh.
two are the biggest babies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, they're big and the one is getting kind of old, whatever, but they're still babies, they're whiners, but we love them.
Yes,
So
he's the
even
best.
internally, he'll be baby for life.
Yeah, and he's an absolute crackhead. Like he gets his moments where he's like, like he's just like purring and just
Yeah.
literally jumping up the wall because apparently there's something there that he has to get,
Oh
even
yeah.
if there's nothing there. But he has to.
Hmm.
He can jump pretty high. I was like, dang, dude, go shoot some hoops or something. Like, come on. Yeah, he's a big crackhead. He. Oh my gosh, if you'll just be sitting there and you'll just hear him go, and he's just like zooming around. I'm like,
Yeah, the
okay.
zoomie get the zoomies. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he
Oh
gets them
yeah.
bad, bad.
I love that. Does he have well, I guess you mentioned one because I feel like all cats have like these weird habits that they do. Would you say crawling the wall, scaling the wall is probably one of them? Sounds
Yeah,
like.
for sure. I saw this video where a person, it was like a hallway carpet, like a long skinny one, and they put
Hmm.
it going like up their wall, and their cat like ran up the carpet and he was like touching the ceiling. I was like, oh
My
my God,
God.
Loki would die. He would absolutely love that because he has a cat tower that kind of goes pretty much to the ceiling. And he
Yeah.
likes to go up there and he'll just put his front paws on the ceiling and kind of just look out. I'm like, okay.
Hmm.
Um, Yeah, I would say I don't really know if he has any like genuinely weird habits. He's just a kind of a goofy cat overall.
Fair.
Lord love him though, he's the best. But the other day, there's this ottoman, and cats like to lick themselves because if
Yeah.
if you touch him, he has to lick right away. He's like, I can't. You're dirty. You're gross. No. But the other day, he was sitting there and he like lifted his leg up to lick it like a cat, and he fell backwards
Oh
off the
my
ottoman.
God.
All right, buddy. And he kind of just got up. He pinned his
You
ears
shake
back
it
and looked
off.
at me
Yeah.
like what just happened?
Yeah. They have
But I
that
think I was
moment.
yeah, I don't think I've ever laughed so much at a cat
Funny.
before. Like he's just so funny. Like everything he
Yeah.
does is so funny. I'm like, this is
Mhm.
why you need a cat because they're funny.
Oh, I miss like kitten age. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh,
Take me
he's
back.
in terrible twos right now.
Oh, I miss it. Well, enjoy the babiness,
Well,
the
yeah,
small, because they'll grow
hmm
up. Then you're like, how
yeah,
did you get so big?
I
Oh my
know.
God. That makes me happy though. From fur mom to fur mom.
hmm
Respect.
Right.
Cheers. But Riley, before we let you go, please let the listeners know where they can find you online and support you. I saw you got some new t-shirt designs out
I
too.
did. I'm actually wearing one now. You can get it
Oh,
on
yay. Awesome.
prowrestlingtees.com. So yeah, this is one of the new shirts that I came out with because all the other ones have the checker print design. I was like, well, time to get new merch. So yeah, Pro Wrestling Tees. I have a couple of designs there. I also have some available with me in person if you ever see me in person. But my Instagram handle, my Twitter handle, and my TikTok is they are all the same. So it's Riley with three Y's, Rileyyyy Matthews. So follow me there. And then my Facebook is just Riley Matthews. And then if you type that in, you should see it pop up. But yeah, I've got a little bit of everything going. So
Well, Neon Dream, Riley Matthews, thank you so much for joining me here today. It's been a pleasure.
yeah, thank you for having me. I was so excited to come back on here. I feel like a lot has changed in the 2 years.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to see what happens next. So
Yeah, and cheers to going on to year 4 into 5. My
yeah,
goodness, friend, time
I
flies.
know.